Hey, good morning, guys. What's happening? You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels. Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, May 8th, 2023. We got another rundown video for you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about the news, talking about how markets closed on Friday, talking about crypto markets, got a little bit of crypto news to share. Saw an interesting podcast last week with Lex Friedman. He had a robotics designer from Robotics and AI, a guy from Boston Dynamics, who was talking about a new robot they have called Stretch. And Stretch is omnidirectional, so we can move in any direction, and it also has a robotic arm that can lift, stack, move packages up to 50 pounds, and that's huge. They've just made their first deliveries to DHL and Maersk, the shipping company, but I'm sure we'll see more warehouses, as well as companies like FedEx, UPS, etc., rolling out this technology in the future, and probably the not too distant future. That's going to wind up taking a lot of jobs. AI, automation, robotics, it's really ramping up quickly. How many jobs they're starting to take? We just heard that IBM is going to not be hiring for 8,000 roles that can be done with AI. We got a lot of media outlets using AI to write content and write articles. BuzzFeed recently laid off all their employees. BuzzFeed has been a disaster for a while, but BuzzFeed recently essentially closed down, got rolled into Huffington Post. We've been hearing that a lot of their articles are being written by AI. A lot of people are criticizing the articles, saying they're just kind of like rehashed versions of the same article and are not written very well. But nonetheless, they're doing it. We also have thepointsguy.com using AI to write articles, CNET, and a number of other prominent websites and publishers are using AI to write content. And the name of the employer is slipping me, but there was a company within the past week or two who announced they were laying off 1,800 workers, and that AI would wind up being able to do a lot of their jobs. Warehouse jobs are not the best jobs out there, but it's better than fast food. It's better than retail. They typically have better hours. They pay better. You're more likely to get benefits. And a lot of those jobs, it appears in the not too distant future, are going to be going away as this Stretch the robot begins to roll out more widely. I apologize, I missed you guys on Friday. I was down in St. Pete, Florida. And I got back yesterday, had a couple delays with the flight, and that's kind of an ongoing trend where we've talked about in some of these videos how just quality of life seems to be declining. Not only is it getting more expensive to live, your money is going less far. Charlie Munger, we're going to be talking about this, but Charlie Munger recently came out and said Americans need to get used to making less, and this comes on the heels of an article we had talked about, I think, last week, where a couple of the Bank of England officials said that Brits need to stop asking for raises. They're causing inflation. It's not companies price gouging. It's not the Bank of England, but printing fake money and ruining the buying power of their currency. No, it's you, the worker, who is paying 60% more for butter, 80% more for eggs. Dealing with 16% inflation, if you believe the government's inflation numbers. It's you asking for a raise to try to keep up with the cost of living. That's the problem, and not the bank, not corporations, not anybody else. But we also talk about how a lot of these complex systems are starting to fail. Power grids are going out. It seems like there's always some type of flight delay, some type of problem with the FAA. I was flying out to Vegas the other week, and Southwest had canceled every single flight in the country, at least for about half the day. And they were still having problems days later. On my way back, I had 2 flights canceled, and I don't know, countless delays, 6 or 8 delays. I was supposed to be back at about 1 in the afternoon. Wound up walking into my house at about 3:30 in the morning. And then yesterday, sure enough, coming back from Tampa, the both flights next to me were delayed over 3 hours. I don't know if they ever wound up getting off the ground. I wound up getting on a Frontier flight into Chicago, and they had I think it was 15 or 20 people too many booked for the flight. So they were trying to offer $500 if you would be willing to get out the flight, but you couldn't even catch a flight later. It was like, we'll get you out tomorrow. So we're just starting to see kind of complex systems not being able to run. Today should be a relatively short news day because, again, didn't get a video out on Friday. I kind of decided to tune out from the news, stay off the internet for the past couple days. But I tried catching up on things a little bit yesterday and a little bit this morning. So let's kind of get into things. Before we get started, shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Temu. Temu is an online shopping platform very similar to a Wish or an AliExpress. Because it's a new platform, they're very competitive on price. Almost everything is free shipping. They're constantly sending out coupon codes. The interface is great. Awesome platform. When I got back from Tampa yesterday, I actually had 2 big boxes of some goodies from Temu that I had ordered. And things are shipping really, really quickly from there. If you guys are drop shippers or if you're just looking to order cheap inventory to sell on eBay or Amazon, the shipping time seemed to be not much more than a week. I got what did I get yesterday? I got a shoe rack. I got a bunch of planter bags for my garden. I got some of these potato planter bags where you can pull up this flap on the side and pick potatoes from under the soil. Got my girlfriend this kind of like retro radio tissue box, a Monstera leaf serving spoon, a hula girl for my dashboard. Cool sign that says please don't do cocaine in the bathroom to put in my bathroom behind a toilet. But a lot of neat stuff from Temu, so check them out. Link in the description box below. And for those of you guys who are affiliate marketers, they pay up to 20% commissions. You get $5 per app sign up, and you get a coupon code that you can give out that'll give people 30% off of their first purchase. And one of the cool things, a lot of affiliate programs out there don't allow you to put the coupon codes on coupon code websites, and Temu actually encouraged that. They actually have a share button that will allow you to put your coupon codes on coupon sites and earn a commission off that. So let's get into today's news, because I got to be kind of brief today. On Friday, the Dow finished up 546 points. We got the NASDAQ up 2.1%, and the S&P 500 up 1.85%. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. We got more layoffs coming. We're on the heels of the second largest bank failure in history the other week. What else do we got going on? We're learning that thousands of banks may be insolvent. We got banks tightening up on credit and lending, which is going to hurt businesses, hurt individuals, and hurt home buyers. And despite all this great news, obviously being sarcastic there, but despite all this great news, the Dow finishes up 546 points on Friday. Looking at the crypto markets, most cryptos are down on the 24-hour, down on the 7-day. Bitcoin broke below 28,000. Bitcoin currently sitting at $27,946. Ethereum has broken that $2,000 mark, down to $1,858. BNB hasn't seen the run-ups that a lot of these coins have seen, but it also hasn't seen the falls. BNB still holding up strong above that resistance level of 300, sitting at 317. And I kind of missed this news, but apparently Binance had closed withdrawals yesterday, and I think that may still be ongoing amid congestion on the Bitcoin network. I haven't been really playing around in crypto as much. I kind of missed this whole fiasco with this Pepe coin, like the 4chan Pepe coin. That's seen some surges in price. Honestly, I'm not even really sure what network that coin is on, but I guess there's some like BSC, like an experimental Bitcoin network that allows people to roll out their own coins, and I believe that's the network that this Pepe coin is on. The Pepe coin has seen some huge run-ups in the past week or two, although I believe it's kind of crashed quite a bit in the past 24, 48, 72 hours. Let's get into to some other news. We got an article from The Hedge. Buffett turns gloomy. The incredible period for the U.S. economy is coming to an end, according to Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's sitting on a record amount of cash. He doesn't want to be in this market right now. And we got Charlie Munger, who followed up on Warren Buffett's comments saying Americans need to get used to making less. We're already getting used to inflation, shrinkflation. The dollar not going as far, your buying power being destroyed, but now you're going to have to get used to making less as well. And that's what the Fed wants, right? The Fed doesn't want people's wages to continue going up. They don't want a wage price spiral. What else do we got? Another interesting Hedge article, and I'm happy to see this one. This article was titled "Growing Pushback Over BlackRock in Ukraine." Taxpayers pay the war bills. Private firms get the profits. And a lot of people wonder, well, how come the U.S. gives Ukraine just enough to keep this war going, but not enough to actually win the war? Not that Ukraine really has a chance of winning the war without like the U.S. or NATO intervention. But it's kind of crazy that BlackRock and a lot of these companies get rich off all these munitions and bombs and off the war effort. And then once everything is destroyed, and then we talked about this a couple months ago, but once everything's destroyed, Zelensky had made a deal with Larry Fink of BlackRock to kind of fund the reconstruction of Ukraine. So BlackRock gets rich off this war, which is going to stretch on for years, and once it's all over with, BlackRock is going to get rich rebuilding all the damage that was done. But taxpayers are kind of getting wise to this. Like, hey, why are we footing the bill for this? Especially when we have so many problems in our own country. We got another article. California defaults on $18.6 billion in debt, saddling employers with the expense. This is at the same time that they want to give $1.2 million in reparations to every black person in California, a state that didn't participate in slavery. People who were never slave owners are paying people who weren't slaves. It's just kind of insanity. Oakland is on fire with riots going on. Downtown San Francisco is a ghost town as more and more offices sit empty, retailers flee, and businesses shut down. And I saw an interesting post on Reddit the other day. Somebody had visited San Francisco with their wife, and the windows in their rental car were smashed out. And the funny thing was, in this San Francisco subreddit, people were blaming this guy and his wife. Like, oh, everybody knows that you leave your windows down in California or in San Francisco, as if that's a normal thing, right? Like, you're an idiot if somebody comes and smashes in your window, because the city is so shitty that it's just a known thing that you have to leave your windows down if you don't want your windows to be smashed out. And I'm sure you guys have seen these images of somebody will drive down the street taking a video, and it's like every single car in the street, the windows are down and the trunk is popped, so that homeless people, Antifa, whoever else roams around breaking into cars looking for change and phone chargers and vacationers' luggage and whatever else, so that they can see that there's nothing in the car. Let's see, Marin County, California, which is north of San Francisco. There's a 2-mile long line of tents and people living in their cars. I talked about the Lex Friedman podcast at the beginning of this. Lex Friedman had a guy from Boston Dynamics on. They talked about this new robot called Stretchy. It can move in any direction. It can pick up, carry, and move boxes up to 50 pounds. And they're currently delivering these robots to DHL and Maersk. I'm sure we'll see UPS, FedEx, and other companies follow in the future. We're already seeing, again, the effects of AI. IBM is not hiring for 8,000 positions that they would have been hiring for. Another company laid off 1,800. BuzzFeed and other media outlets have AI writing articles. In terms of like store closures and things like that, we got Burger King going to be closing 400 stores in 2023, and many of their franchises have already filed for bankruptcy. We got Nordstrom closing dozens of stores in 2023 as well, including a flagship store in San Francisco. We got Jenny Craig closing 500 brick and mortar locations, laying off 1,000 employees and ceasing operations. With all these kind of workout and diet apps that you can get on the phone for just a couple bucks, I think maybe the day and age of having brick and mortar locations for like a weight loss business like that are no more. Even though I'm sure a lot of people kind of like the community aspect, kind of a community of people to hold them accountable. I'm not sure if it's Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers who did like the weigh-ins at their meetings and things like that. But kind of crazy that that's going away. Apple CEO Tim Cook has been talking a lot lately about how layoffs are the last resort. I think that's kind of signaling that layoffs are eventually going to be coming down the pipeline. For the longest time, Apple was kind of bragging about how, all of their tech, all of those other social media companies have been laying people off. We haven't laid people off. Well, now they're talking about layoffs are going to be a last resort. So I'm guessing in the coming weeks, or at least the coming months, we'll start hearing about layoffs from Apple. We got Amazon. Amazon is concerned over consumer behavior. The economic ninja has been doing some great videos where he's been getting kind of some inside information from people who work at Amazon, people who work at the post office, sharing internal memos, sharing things that they hear at meetings. I guess he kind of vets this information, so it's pretty legitimate. He did like a 6-part series on this about Amazon. Amazon is concerned that people are starting to buy needs over wants. They're concerned that people are investing in precious metals. They're concerned that people are worried about the economy. We got Amazon is subleasing their warehouses. They're putting a pause on warehouse builds that they've already started that are already in progress. And they're also beginning to look at places like OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. Amazon really wants to study and understand consumer behavior and consumer psychology. They're concerned with what that's looking like right now, and it looks like Amazon may try to get into like the secondhand or kind of resale game, as they see that Americans are struggling and more people than ever are buying secondhand or used items off a lot of these marketplaces. In terms of layoffs, we got Shopify slashing 20% of their staff. Recently talked about how Shopify employees were worried about layoffs. They'd canceled a bunch of in-person events leading up to earnings. Well, it turns out Shopify is slashing a fifth of their staff. Morgan Stanley is laying off 3,000. We always kind of talk about return to the office, the end of remote work, etc. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman says that work from home was a failed experiment. We see more and more companies not only asking employees to return to the office, but companies who had been asking employees to return to the office for the past year or two are now saying, look, we mean business. You got to be in the office 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, or we're going to lay you off, or there's going to be disciplinary action. We're also seeing a decline in a number of fully remote companies, as well as the amount of hybrid companies. And a number one reason being given for bringing people back into the office, whether you believe it or not, a lot of people say it's commercial real estate, but the number one reason reported is communication and the fostering of relationships. So that's the news for today, guys. Sorry, a little bit of a rush news day. I just got into town yesterday. And I think I had to get up at 2 in the morning to catch my flight. So it was kind of a busy day yesterday. I had a bunch of stuff I had to do to get ready for the week. But there's a lot of catching up we got to do on Wednesday. So I'll have a good video out for you guys on Wednesday. Be sure to check out Temu, the sponsor of today's video, in the description box below. Use my affiliate link below. I also got a coupon code that'll get you 30% off your first purchase. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below and ring the bell. And as always, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, comments, and opinions on anything we've discussed today. So go ahead and drop a comment down below. That's all I got for you guys, and I'll catch you on Wednesday's video, guys. Later. Peace. I'm out.